What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is the LCG Podcast. I am Charles Ricky. This is Elio Piedra, or better known as Elio, Mr. Fiesta Piedra.
Oh, yeah.
Always bringing the energy. And we are the Latin Consulting Group, right?
Yes, Latin Consulting Group, and this show is brought to you by Bprint and Remax Professionals. Right. Yes, they are the #1 logo in the world, and we take pride on that, Charlie. Yep, right?
Exactly, because you know what we're going to be doing, guys. We're just going to be talking marketing and bringing some enthusiasm towards marketing. Marketing has a ton of topics. There's traditional marketing. There's digital, right? We're going to little digital today. We're going to talk about some SEO versus SEM. But Remax, we're very proud to have Remax as a sponsor. Thank you. I know there might be some agents out there. And by the way, those agents have you covered from Gainesville to Lake City and everything in between. There's a ton of them. They kick butt. And speaking of marketing, I wonder how they market it amongst each other, because there's like 50 agents, right? I think 50 agents Gary and Jeremy have. They're doing some great things, and they're in the process of helping my mom get a house. Jeremy's doing some great negotiating, so thank you, Gary and Jeremy, once again for the awesome job at Remax, and we're excited to have Remax as a sponsor, and also Bprint Design. Pretty soon we're going to have some new hats, some new gear, some coffee mugs, some swag. So Brian, we're excited, and also Brian might be joining us Thursday, right?
Oh yeah, he's going to be here with us on Thursday to talk about amazing things, but most importantly, how to vectorize your logo and the importance of that, and the pros and cons of bad marketing. So you stay with us.
Yeah. Brian helped us get our logo. We thought we had it fine-tuned, and we were very confident. We were very happy. We were very proud of the logo, and then we had a meeting with Brian, and boom, we had a much better logo. So much more to come with Brian on Thursday. We're excited to have him here. He's going to show us some cool things that you never thought you can get branded. You can get your dog branded, I'm sure.
Yes.
Right? You never know nowadays. You get your car branded, dog branded, So
branded your boat.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, guys, we're going to get right into it. And again, we're just going to bring you some fun topics. This week, we happen to have a couple that we want to talk about. First one we're going to get right into is search engine marketing, SEO, SEM. What is it? What does it do? You guys heard people talk about it. What's funny is I'm in marketing, and I hear people talking about it very loosely as if it's together. Oh, yeah, I'm doing an SEM, SEO. I'm like, which one are you doing? No, I'm doing SEM, SEO. I think they're doing both. I don't know. And they use it kind of loosely. But in reality, it's a tree, and they work together perfectly, but they could not be more different. So we're just going to get into it really quick, guys. And SEM is search engine marketing. All right, search engine marketing. In that search engine marketing, there's pay-per-click. We've all heard of pay-per-click. And then there's SEO. All right, it's all really SEM, which is search engine marketing, right? But in that part of it is SEO, which is search engine optimization. All right, search engine optimization. So pretty much, guys, you guys know when you do a search, everyone understands that these days, if you had a pipe burst in your house, or if there's a disaster, right? Hopefully you already know to call Jorge at Best Restoration, right?
Oh, yeah.
A little shout out there to Jorge at Best Restoration. But let's say you type in disaster, and one of those top 5 companies, comes up on the search engine, right? Well, check it out. You guys know the first 3 that say ad, that are usually green? That is your SEM, or pay-per-click. That company paid to be there based on the keywords that you type in, right? So that's pretty convenient. You basically pay to play, right? Pay to be there based on certain keywords. You're at the top, okay? Elio, SEO. SEO is working on your personal website, putting what we call Google juice, right? Putting the good stuff, the blogs, the updated information, all the content on your website, so that Google recognizes that your website is relevant and places you higher on the search engine. All right? So
love it.
That's interesting. I want to explain that to people. SEO is someone really touching your website and putting the things, algorithms and things behind scenes, and working on blog posts and things like that, content, so that search engines recognize your website and give you a better placement for that organic, which is the ads that pop up under the paid ads. So we all do a search, right? The 3 that pop up are the paid ads. The organic ones that pop up underneath, that is your SEO. Big giant companies, Elio, are doing them both.
That is awesome.
Because if you type in a disaster, if you type in your pipe burst, right? Hello, Evelyn, Ricky, how you doing? Shout out to my mama Dukes.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys type in a disaster or an example of anything, right? You want you want your company to appear, because guys, if it is not appearing on the first page of Google, or at least the first 7 searches of Google, you are missing at least 50 to 60% of your revenue stream. Did you know that, Elio?
Oh wow, I didn't know that, and that is incredible. Actually, Charlie, I would like to expand on that. On YouTube is very similar. When you are trying to put some keywords on your videos here. Listen to this really quick. BitIQ, an optimization company that does this, so this is simple. If you want to talk about cats, right? Put cats and whatever comes first. That's the keyword that you need to use on your video, even though it doesn't have anything to do with it. But what means is what Charlie's explaining, that if someone is looking for this other product, this other topic, it's gonna go right straight into your element.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's super important.
So one thing that you're doing when you're talking with a team, guys, is you want to make sure you have as many keywords as possible. And by the way, guys, do some fun homework, a little homework for you guys. Have a friend, don't do it yourself, because your business already recognizes you as an owner or as an employee going into your business, right? So tell an uncle, an aunt, a friend, do me a favor, can you Google a certain keyword? So if you went to Google carpet cleaning, have them Google that. If you're a carpet business, have your friend Google it, see where you're popping up. I'm telling you right now, if you're popping up on the second page of Google, or if you're not popping up at all, you have a major problem. You can have a pretty decent website, right? But if you're not paying for SEM or pay-per-click, or you don't have someone working on your website to do SEO, Google or the search engines, whichever one may be, are not going to recognize you, Elio. So it's very important, guys. And I hate to say this, it's going to cost you some money, especially if you're competitive, right? If you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, some of those keywords like pain, attorney, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Charlie. You know what is the saddest part? The saddest part is that a lot of people, I will say like 85% of people, they spend hundreds of dollars on Facebook ads before doing this first. You need to do this.
Yes, because like we always say, guys, marketing goes hand in hand. We always preach about a blended media campaign. When we say blended, is not just one strategy. You should be working on your website, your SEM, your SEO. You should have a radio commercial out there. You should have a podcast. You should have some video content, right? If you can be in a magazine that suits your category, be in some, do whatever you can, right? Expand that budget. That's what we're talking about. Today, it just happens to be one topic about SEM and SEO, you know, and I'm going to give you guys some numbers out there. You're going to probably spend anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a month, just to give you some numbers. And if you can show some other slides here, I want you guys to ask the right questions. When you're talking to someone about your SEO and your SEM, guys, one thing, whoever that may be, right? I want you to ask him, is it real people working on my website? Yeah. Not a bot. Is it real man hours, right? Are the calls being recorded? When you click on that green ad for the SEM, the pay-per-click, and it takes you to that plumbing company, and you get that 1-800 number, and you call, all those calls are recorded. So then a marketing person like myself goes through the calls and finds one that might say, oh my God, I heard you guys commercial on the radio. So I heard on the radio, and then I had a disaster happen. So then I went on Google, and you see what I'm saying? It gives you the ability to understand where your customer came from, what they're doing, what they're talking about. And by the way, it shows if your team is doing a good job at the customer service. So it really lets you in behind the scenes. So guys, SEM and SEO, you know, if you want a little more about it, reach out to Lcg Podcast. We can set something up, but we just want to touch on that, guys, because it's really important. You know, if you can get someone to work on your web page and do some SEO content, you don't have to pay for your ads. If your SEO is fantastic and you come up number 1 on the organic search, you don't need to pay for the top 3. I'm just telling you right now that companies that are out there throwing some real money, they're doing both of them. So they're coming up organically as well as the paid ads.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I think that people, you know, should use like real tools and tools that they actually work. No, because some people are like, oh, we're gonna use this app or this other app, or you just mentioned a bot that actually doesn't work. You know, I know some really cool tools. We know here like some really cool tools but that's another podcast we're going to be talking about eventually, so they know. And like that, you need to go to our YouTube channel right now and subscribe. click that subscribe button,
Yep.
because you know what? We're going to be talking about budgeting and the tools that you need. What are the pros and cons of using the wrong tools? Okay?
Yep.
So you stay tuned with that. And now, why do your clients need search engine marketing? That's super important, you know, and we've been talking a little bit about that. But here, for example, Charlie, you have something that I really like that says, because CEM ads are shown above the natural search listing, the first visible messaging users are exposed to your business are through SEM ads.
Yep, exactly. You guys know. I mean, it's common. You see the TV commercial, you hear the radio commercial. You're like, oh man, I heard the jingle, you know, in the commercial. I heard Storm Roberts say that Best Restoration is the best company out there, right? Or I heard someone say that Annie Mac, you know, can get me a loan. There's all these types of businesses. So what do you do just to back all that up? You sit home on your couch, you grab your tablet, or you sit at your desk, and you go to that magic Google bar and you type in what you're looking for. You know what I mean? And obviously, if you have that endorsement that's sending you that way, it's going to lead towards that call to action that's going to drive the business better. But if there's not that endorsement for TV and radio, as we explained, as we were talking about last week on the show, if there's no endorsement, no one telling you that it is relevant, and you're not popping up number 1, 2, or 3 on Google, you are also losing credibility, guys. So we talked about having a legit website. We talked about having, you know, an endorser maybe back you up so it shows relevancy. Yep. SEM and SEO is just another thing too, guys. When you type in, you know, best cleaning service in Gainesville, right? Who's going to pop up number 1? Try it out.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there's going to be reviews. People are going to check those reviews. So if you're on the second page or on 6, 7, 8, no one has time to get there.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. I like that.
Here we go.
Best cleaning.
Putting it to the test right now. I like it.
Company in Gainesville. All right.
This is live on the spot. Here we go.
We are live, guys. So, okay. So we have the first one. Charlie is coming. It's 2 maids and a mop.
2 maids. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So when you type in that, look who pops up. They're doing a really good job at their SEM and their SEO.
Yep.
So if you're a cleaning company, that is great. I'm glad you did that live. And this is what we're trying to do, guys. Just give you guys ideas.
Let's go, baby.
That's what we're doing. If you're a cleaning company in this market, you're like, wait a minute. Why didn't I pop up number 1? Who am I going to talk to help my website to get SEO so that I place better organically? And who can I talk to, right, to buy some SEM so that I'm placing, so that I'm not losing out on those leads? It's incredible. I love it. We're just going to help people here. That's what we're doing.
Yes. And actually, just going back to the question, why do your clients need search engine marketing, SEM? You know why? Because there is no such a thing as word of mouth, even though people have faith on it. Now it's a whole different change. If you are not on top of the game, let me tell you something. You got to jump on the train, or you're gonna see the train leaving you from far behind. You need to make sure that you have all these things. And here is the
And if I could just touch on this really quick, you know, I like to give a shout out to Odyssey because I work for a badass media company, Odyssey. And I will say this, guys, make sure you do your homework. Make sure we're a Google beta tester. All right, we're a Google Premier partner. There's not many of them. There's not many beta testers. We're one of them. We're a national giant monster of a company that gives Google a ton of money. Because of that, we get a ton of assets. And we have real people working on your campaign, real man hours. And because of that, you have monthly meetings. So those are things you want to look for when you're looking for who you're going to partner with for your SEM and SEO, right? You know us, Ellie and I come from a very non-biased approach. Everyone has a lot of connections out there. So whoever your connection is, reach out to them and ask them these questions so that you make sure you're getting the best of the best. If not, shoot us a little comment. Maybe we might be able to help you.
Yes. Leave a comment below. Leave your question below.
Yep.
And we're going to engage with you this way. Eventually, we're actually working on having some friends calling in with questions and maybe solving some problems while we're live here on the show. So what do you think, Charlie? We go to the next topic?
Let's do it.
All right. So what is the difference between SEM and SEO?
Well, we kind of went all over the place and touched on that.
Oh, okay.
Hold on though. This is a good slide because this kind of explains what we were talking about. Really quick, guys. See the 3 ads up top? That is your SEM. The organic ones at the bottom is your SEO. I think our explanation really nailed that, but this is a good visual for you guys to understand. So if you want more on that, shoot us a comment, shoot us an email. We'll definitely help you out.
Exactly. Yes. And this is like what we're talking about here is like expanding and boosting your presence without going and adding, actually spending some money on Facebook ads or YouTube ads that you don't know exactly what you're doing. Some people, they don't know about demographic, about keywords, about all of this. And even though they don't know what they're doing on Facebook in that aspect, in that point, and in that goal that they are trying to accomplish, it's funny how they haven't done this, okay? Again, this is something that you need to do prior all of those steps, okay?
Yep, 100%.
So that's something that, I don't know, Charlie, what do you think? I mean, imagine people that they have...
Well, Elio, this is why we're trying to do this podcast, guys. And again, we're not going to have all the answers. We're not perfect, and we're going to break different things every week. One week it might be SEM, SEO. 1 week it might be radio. 1 week it might be, print. 1 week might be TV. We're going to hit all spectrums of marketing. What we want to tell you is that there is a lot of things that you should be doing, and we're trying to help you save money throughout the process, right? So this is another one of those things. You can have a really cool site, but if you don't have anyone doing SEO or what we call Google Juice to your website, you're not going to be placing well organically when someone searches you. And if you want to place even higher when someone types your specific keywords, then you also need to do some SEM with that so that when they find that keyword, you are number one. Because people don't got time. They're not going to look around. Who goes to the second? How about this? Forget the second page of Google. That's old news. Who goes to the second bottom half page of Google? No one.
Yeah.
0. Enough of that. So let's get into some branding and call to action. That's what we got going on next.
Yes. So that's let me see who you want to partner with.
Yeah. These are things I was telling you earlier, guys. That things to look for when you're looking for a partner. Just make sure that they have monthly meetings with you. They record the calls. Yeah. They're a Google Premier partner. That's a really good start. If they don't have any of those things, holler at us. We'll definitely help you.
And by the way, Charlie, before we jump into the call to action, really cool tips. So one tip that we can give you before you go and spend the money and do all of these things that they're super important, but make sure that you have up to 15 or 25 reviews on Google, on your Google business. Okay. Actually, some people, they don't know that they can even have their Google business account on their phone.
Earned media. That was last week.
Yes.
Earned media.
Earned media.
That's right.
And paid media and search media. So now let's talk about this.
Check out last week's show, by the way, if you want to see that.
You need to check out that and see. And now you need to say and see what earned media you are doing, what paid media you are doing, and SEM and SEO, what part of the media is it, right? So here you need to invest some money, so it is paid media. But how about asking your client, this is my tip here, to leave you, hey, just can you leave me a review, how was the experience, all of that. Make sure you actually did a great experience to your customers. Make sure you give it all up so they can leave you a beautiful review.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, once you have up to between 15 and 25 reviews, is gonna help also your search engine to pop up, but you're gonna need that help, that boost anyways.
That's right.
With the SEM. Call to action.
Oh yeah, here we go, baby. So branding message and call to action. All right. Branding message and call to action. Now that seems pretty basic. Because everyone understands what a branding campaign is and what a call to action campaign is. That's not the hard part here. That's not the part that we're going to discuss. The part that we're going to discuss is when to switch off from the branding campaign. Do you increase frequency? Do you mix the two? All right. So let's say you have a certain budget going on and you're in a branding campaign. When do you throw in the call to action? You know what I'm saying, Elio? I see companies a lot. And by the way, if they're my client, I try to guide them. I just had this conversation with a client today. I said, look, I love the branding we're doing. That's great, right? I love it. But I want to get the branding deeper. What can we do to get people to go to your website? Even if they're not maybe a client. I want them to go on your website to see what you're about, right? To read your vision statement, to read your mission statement. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I want to increase that branding. So what can I do to get them to go directly to your site so they can talk to the people about, man, look what this company's doing. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Oh, you don't know about it? You should check out their site. They're giving away a trip to Hong Kong. You know what I mean? So, something completely different. So that's interesting, guys, because if you have a branding campaign going, branding is all about reach. Okay, guys, I want you to understand that. Branding is all about reach and frequency. All right? The call to action is not necessarily about the reach or the frequency. It's the effectiveness of the campaign. Here's what I'm getting at. You can do a branding campaign for a while, right? If you're driving down and you see a billboard and it says the name of the company and a website, that's just a branding campaign. This is who we are. This is our website. That's it. They're trying to do top of mind awareness, right? If you have a radio campaign and it says, hey, we've been in business 40 years. We're the best at what we do. If you want to call us, great. If you don't want to call us, great. I'm just letting you know that we're the best at what we do. Been in business 40 years. Branding campaign. If you keep doing that without changing to call to action, you're going to be throwing money away. After a while, you need to ask a certain area of person what to do, all right? That's where the call to action comes in. So it's a more a targeted approach, if you will, for the call to action, okay? And here's what I recommend. If you have a certain frequency going, right? I'll use McDonald's as an example. McDonald's doesn't take their inventory and then switch it when they're gonna do the Monopoly game. Yeah. They add money onto their marketing campaign. They increase the frequency. So if you look at it as like a line, they're constantly steady. They don't just rechange a commercial. They add frequency, so their normal commercials are there, plus the Monopoly commercials. They're hitting you even harder. You know what I mean? So I just think, guys, that branding campaign is great. We all talk about a branding campaign. I suggest my clients do a branding campaign, especially if no one knows who you are and what you are doing and what you're trying to accomplish. But after a little bit of time, I'm going to want you to switch that to a call to action, something you can measure.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, people need to know before you sell anything who you are and what you do. People need to know that you exist. Another example, Charlie, that this is a good one, actually. Shout out to Meldon Law. I remember that Jeffrey, we used to partner, and we still do, but that time we were co-branding, okay? Co-branding products. I used to have pop sockets with the Tom Petty badge and Meldon Law, and you know, having that, okay, all the time in front of people was a good branding strategy. But hold on, you know, to get the pop socket free, you need to give me, okay, like your email address and all of that, so they can send you a newsletter. So you see, that's a call to action. You are actually asking for an asset that they can use later to follow up with that branding campaign. So, you know, that I think that's a good example of how you can manage that.
And by the way, it's okay for a call to action campaign to not be as successful as you wanted it to be. The reason why I say that is because that is valuable ammunition. Obviously, we want to make $1 million, but at least you know not to do that again. Or if you broke even, right? That is fantastic in marketing. We want to go up, but if you broke even means you did not lose money. That's not a horrible, that does not mean it did not work. It means what can we do to fine tune the message so that the next time that we do that, the call to action goes even better. So call to action, guys, are seasonal, right? Back to school is a great call to action. Football, Gators are starting, right? You want someone to go buy tickets. You're going back to school. You need someone to go buy clothes for certain calls to action are based on Christmas, right? Halloween, go buy candy. It's going to be Halloween. That's a simple campaign. A company does not need to spend millions of marketing dollars doing that, right? We're going to tell you, hey, we're the best company that sells chocolate. On the time that Halloween comes, we're going to switch the call to action and tell you why you should come to us for that Halloween chocolate. There's a big difference, guys. So I just want people to understand that branding is about reach and frequency, okay? Here's what I'm going to tell you this. This is a fun example, Elio. If you were doing a branding campaign, right, and you were talking to North Central Florida, and all of a sudden the call to action, you made it so general that you gave half off your business to all those people. would that be a great campaign or not? That might put you out of business. I don't know. Are you going to be able to serve all of North Central Florida with what you're trying to do? I mean, think about that for a second. Right now, people can't find employees. People are tight.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful with your call to action. Hey, the first 300 people that walk in here, I'm going to give you a free burger and a free beer. Careful what you ask for. Is that going to cost you? Is your kitchen going to be so behind that the burger now is an hour late? Someone had a horrible experience. They didn't get back to work, and now they're giving you bad Google reviews. You're like, wait, I thought that was a great call to action. I'm giving away a free burger and a free beer. You weren't ready for that. So take that call to action and go for a small target audience. Hey, on Monday, our slowest day of the week, from the hours of 11 to 1, we're going to be giving away a free burger because we've been in business 40 years. Thank you guys for allowing that juicy burger in your mouth. And now we want to give back. So Mondays, our slowest days, that's a little more manageable. You know what I'm saying? So branding, call to action, I think it's something fun to think about. You know, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm doing a branding campaign. They just set it and forget it. No. Please, let's switch it now to a call to action. Let's try it.
That's consistency. You got to be consistent with it.
Look, it puts more of a magnifying glass on the radio rep, the TV rep, the print rep, right? Whatever rep is selling you that media tool, right? It puts more of a magnifying glass on it, but it allows you to understand if it's working or not, right? Elio, we've said a million times, marketing, there's going to be failures, guys. It's not a proven thing.
Yeah.
We're here to tell you there's going to be failures. We're not perfect ourselves, but between the both of us, we've seen a ton of things that will at least guide you in the right direction and put together the best marketing plan that's going to be effective in the step-by-step process to help you do what you need to do.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because we're almost ending, but I want to share this with you guys. If you're doing something and a marketing or branding campaign, and they are different, any of that, let's say your marketing campaign didn't work. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that your goal failed completely. It just means that marketing campaign didn't work. And now you need to shift direction and do something else. But remember, always remember, you need to change how you do it, the way, but never the goal. The goal is the same. The goal is to reach higher numbers, to expand that reputation, to boost your branding, to boost your presence out there. So people, what are you?
Yeah, exactly.
And what are you people?
If you're offering something free, that's a great example. If you're offering something free, here, guys, I want to give you this. But no one knows who you are, if you're good, that it's relevant, that you're a good company, your morals. Why would I go get that free? Yeah. Obviously, free might be a bad example because people take anything free, right? Yes. But I'm trying to make a point that if you did your branding campaign first and told people who you are, what you're doing, and then after the branding campaign, you switch to call to action. It's like, hey, now that you know who I am, come check me out on Thursday. I'm going to give you this free.
Yeah.
That's going to work much better, guys. So know when to turn it on, turn it off. Call to action versus branding. Frequency, increase it, decrease it, like really understand your marketing, guys. That's what we're trying to do.
And I really hope that the people remember this. I have a good friend of mine from Jacksonville, Jay Carter, bro. You're watching, shout out to you, amazing entrepreneur. He told me once, hey, Leo, sometimes it's not about who you know, but who knows you. So here's the question to our viewers. Here's the question to our audience that are watching. Leave a comment below. Leave a comment below, like it and share it, and make sure that your friends also get this question. Who knows you? Who knows your product? Who knows you? Who knows where you are? And we need to know. LCG,
I love that.
Latin Consulting Group. We want to know where you are. So leave your comment below. How are you doing with your SEM, SEO? How are you doing with your branding and your marketing campaign? Are they different? Are you doing something that we don't know? We want to learn from you. But who knows you? You need to make sure that search engine, it is man. Energy level all the way to the top.
And also, guys, we're going to be bringing topics every week, but, you know, they go all over the place. So do me a favor, put in the comments what you guys want to hear about. TV ads, radio ads, geofencing. Do you want to learn about, cost per points? Do you want to get into analytics, audience analytics? Do you want to get into, there's so many things in marketing, guys. This Thursday, we're going to have Brian on to be talking about vectorizing logos, things you can get, apparel that you can get, swag. We love swag. So we're going to be talking swag. We're talking logo design, vectorization, just more marketing talk next week. So we're excited to have Brian as on our first guest, and also a sponsor of ours in Beat Print Design. Can't wait to get our swag here. I'm excited about that.
Awesome.
So half hour again, man. We're gonna have to make these an hour or something. I like half hour, guys, because you guys are busy. We want to keep it short. So that being said, Elio, take us away.
Yes, we're gonna see you guys. Remember, every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. See you Thursday with Brian Knapp.
Brian Knapp. That's right, baby.